Hi, welcome to Health Talk with Dr. Akram. I am Akram. In this program, we're going to talk to one of my good friend, Dr. Udara Kularatne. He's a consultant radiologist now, and he has written these books especially for kids and parents, exam tips for kids. Udara Kularatne has gone through a big journey in his career. He's from Sri Lanka. He studied in Sri Lanka till grade 12. When he was in grade 5, he has done an exam that's called scholarship exam, and he was top in the island of Sri Lanka. 150,000 students participated and he was the top. Then he did this exam in GCE O-level, which was in grade 10. Then here he scores again on top, and the GCE A-level, the final exit exam for universities, he was third in the island. That was a tough exam. Udara decides to go to university, and he's been offered a scholarship in Monash University in Australia, where he pursued a career as an engineer. He learned to be an engineer. He works as an engineer in Singapore, in the UK. Then he decides his career is something different, and he decided to move to the city. In London City, he works as an investment banker, and he does another university exam in Oxford. And after that, at one point, his father becomes ill. He had a heart attack, and Udara thinks the career he's on is different. He wanted to do something different. He wanted to study medicine at this point. Then he joins Cambridge University as a graduate student, and he finishes medicine. He didn't stop there. Once you stop medicine, you have to study another 5 years to become a consultant. And he started studying for another 5 years, and he started a career in radiology, and he is happy. After all these exams, Udara has decided what made him successful was that exam tips he learned from his parents from the young age. And he decided to give all in this book. This is available in Amazon. If anybody is interested, you could buy it. We are planning to translate this book into Sinhala and Tamil for Sri Lankan population. If anybody is interested in translating this book into different languages, we will welcome your opinion. And you could always write down in my YouTube channel, and we'll respond to you. And please be with us in this special program. The first program, we're going to talk about Udara's journey through these different fields. Then from the second program on, we'll talk about the book more. So be with us, and let's welcome Udara. Udara, thank you for being with us in this special show. How do you feel about it?
Thank you very much for having me. I'm delighted to be here, Akram.
What made you write a book, something like this, exam tips for kids? And first of all, this is available in the market at the moment?
It is available in the market. It's available on Amazon. I've had to sit hundreds of exams in my life. And what I realized was that a few simple things, simple strategies helped me never fail an exam. So I wrote this book called Exam Tips for Kids, because I wanted to share those strategies, those tips with everyone. And it basically describes how discipline, targeted effort, and learning from your mistakes can help with exam success.
I'm glad you brought out this book, and this is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. Let's talk about your experience in Sri Lanka.
So as you said, both of us grew up in Sri Lanka, and as in the UK, US, Canada, Australia and India, competition for places in good schools and universities is fierce. The grade 5 scholarship exam, as you said, in Sri Lanka is similar to the 11 plus exam in the UK. If you do well in it, you can go to a popular school. And similar to GCSEs and A-levels in the UK, in Sri Lanka we had O-levels and A-level exams. I did well in these exams thanks to good exam taking habits learned from an early age. And I was placed first in Sri Lanka at the grade 5 scholarship exam and third in Sri Lanka at the A-levels. Yes, the grade 5 scholarship exam, if I remember right, was about 150,000 students in the year I sat it, and A levels probably 11,000 students when I did it.
Is not only the knowledge, the exam technique is really important to pass these exams. Is that right?
You need the knowledge, but how you recall it or how you prepare for the exam and how you make sure that you are able to recall the knowledge that you have acquired, and also you are able to answer the questions in a way that will earn you marks is really important. I think initially it was my parents who actually helped me. They are both very popular teachers, very popular among their students. My dad is a university academic, my mother is a science teacher, and from an early age, with patience and love, they taught me certain things which really helped me, really enabled me to approach exams in a systematic and organized way. And when I was little, I wanted to study medicine, but as I grew older, I found maths to be a very interesting subject. And thanks to my teachers, mainly, I was able to enjoy that subject, and I was good at it.
Then you have done your grade 12 exam, that's your A-level exam.
Correct.
And what kind of grades, like what did you get there?
I did 4 subjects and I got 4 A's for pure applied mathematics, physics and chemistry. I was quite lucky actually, because in that year the Australian government, for those who did well in the A-levels exam, the Australian government awarded full scholarships to pursue undergraduate studies in Australia. So I went to Monash University in Melbourne to study engineering.
How did you perform in your university years? Because that was different languages. Did you study in Sinhala in your basic?
Yes.
Then you had to change to English.
Yes. So up until A-levels, I studied in my first language, which is Sinhalese. And when I went to Australia, I had to study in English. But in Sri Lanka, we have English as a subject right from grade 1 to grade 12. So it wasn't a huge barrier to me to be studying in English in Australia. So I graduated in 1996. So luckily, at the time, there was a big internet boom. The communications industry was growing at a rapid rate, and some telecom manufacturers came to our university when we were final year students and conducted interviews. So I got a job with an R&D, a research and development center in Singapore with Fujitsu Telecommunications. And when I finished my degree in Australia, I went to Singapore to work. So I was there for 2 years.
2 years.
Yes. So after 2 years in Singapore, I wanted to travel. I was, I think, 26 at the time, and having had an engineering background and tech experience, those days it opened many doors. So I was lucky to be offered a job here in the UK with Nortel Telecommunications. In fact, here in Harlow, where we are today, that was my very first job in the UK. So I came to the UK in 1999 to work as an engineer.
Yeah, and when you were in UK, your thinking pattern changes, isn't it?
Yes.
So you've been working as an engineer. So what's happening there? Can you take us through this journey?
I worked for Nortel for another 2 years, and I always had this bug. I wanted to seek new adventures. The thrill of doing something new always was very attractive. And again, having an engineering and mathematical background really helped. At the time, investment banking gave opportunities for people with the same skill set. So several exams and many interviews later, I ended up in the City of London in an investment bank.
You started working in investment bank with a degree from Monash University for engineering, or have you had done another degree here in the UK?
While I was at Nortel, I did some postgraduate studies at Oxford in software engineering, and so I had done that before I went into banking.
How long did you work in banking?
Again, with the investment bank, I was with them for another 2 years.
And here again, you are not satisfied yourself, or what's happening? Why are you trying to change your career here?
Investment banking was a new adventure for me.
There's a lot of money there, I suppose.
You're right, yes. And it's a work hard, play hard environment. Very exciting industry to be in. I met a lot of very talented people from whom I learned a lot. And London itself was a very exciting place to be in. And the job was a rewarding one, financially, as you said. But after a few years, I was thinking of improving my skills, maybe take some time out to do an MBA. But at the time, something sad happened. My father had a heart attack, but he recovered really well with a bypass surgery. And this was quite inspirational. And as a child, I had thought about being a doctor. And instead of doing an MBA or taking time out to study, I thought this would probably be a good time to change career and go into graduate medicine.
When your father became ill, he had a heart attack, and you started thinking about, oh, let me do a different degree, and I want to be a doctor.
Exactly. Yes.
Is that right? That's amazing. We also have this different thought, but we don't pursue more than that. So we just stop there. And how old were you by then?
So by the time I actually started uni, I was, I think, 29. So graduate medicine at Cambridge is 4 years. So you have to do the same number of hours as the traditional 6-year course, but it's sort of squeezed into 4 years.
Why did you choose radiology? Now you're a consultant radiologist.
There are a few reasons. I think one was I really loved anatomy as a medical student. We had excellent tutors, and my director of studies at my college at Cambridge was a radiologist as well, who had a great work-life balance, and I think that was a big influence. And as a radiologist, I solve medical puzzles and treat patients with the help of medical images, and this aspect of the job makes it very interesting and satisfying. And that's why I was attracted to radiology.
Well, you have gone through all this field, and what kind of take-home message you're going to give before we're going to talk about your book in our next episode?
Never be afraid to follow your dreams. If you enjoy what you do, you don't have to really push yourself, because the work itself, the goal itself will pull you. So the key thing is to find something that you enjoy doing. Thank you.
That's very good, Udara. Thank you very much for being this first show. So in our next program, we're going to talk more about the book you wrote. This is the exam tips, because you have done 3 different universities, and probably I would imagine about 25 odd different big exams in your life, and you were successful, and that's why you decided to write this book, the exam tips for kids. It's a really important book. In our next program, we're going to talk more about this book. We're going to go through the whole book, and we'll give you everything you need to know. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you shortly in the next program. Until then, look after yourself. Thank you.